Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Let's talk about love and marriage the way that God intended. Life experience, here we share it. The No Fruit Podcast. Tune in from any platform. No Fruit Podcast will help your spirit transform.
Hey everyone, how are y'all doing today? Thank y'all for tuning in. You know, one of the things that I used to do often would be to cook. And I haven't really done it that often recently. Feels like I've been caught up with all life stuff. So Kafa's been cooking. But one of the things that I've heard not too long ago is using cooking as a date night.
Sounds interesting.
And so we, Kafa and I think we would do that. We would use cooking as a date night once the kids were in college. I think we really tried to explore that a little bit. We didn't know we were doing that per se, if you will, but we were just enjoying being together, cooking together, things like that. But that has all changed since they've been back home to some degree. So, Carv, what's your thoughts? Do you think that we try to utilize cooking as a date night, or do you think we use it as just because we like being together?
I think it turns into a date night. I don't know if it starts off that way. I guess if I'm cooking, usually you come in and assist. Mm-hmm. And I guess it will become a date night or whatever. Now, I wouldn't say it's with candles and wine glasses or anything like that. You know, sometimes we just eat at the end. So I don't know. Maybe sometimes, not all the time. Mm-hmm. I think when you're cooking, I usually do cleanup, so I don't know if have I really come in and helped when you were cooking? I don't recall.
I don't know. I can't. Yeah,
I can't think. I mean, maybe once, but you do so much, so I'm just like, okay, I'll just let you do what you do. Yeah, because you set a whole mood, I guess, for yourself in reference to pumping yourself up like I have to get through this cooking. You need your hype music. You need,
Yeah.
You pull everything out. Like, you can't just go in a cabinet and get it. It's like you got to lay it all out and set it all out so you can see, like, I'm going to use this salt. I'm going to use this type of pepper. Like, you just can't go in a cabinet and get it. So, like, everything kind of sits out. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can see the benefits of doing couples cooking. Mm-hmm. Again, looking at stuff on YouTube and Instagram and social media, like those who do it, they make it look fun. Mm-hmm. But I think it takes a certain type of couple personalities and kitchen space and all that to make it work. Again, like you said, if it's just the two of us, it's easier than if we're trying to prepare for four and we're trying to prepare for prep for the next day or whatever. So it can be a little challenging in our size kitchen with our limited counter space to make that happen and make it happy. Now, I would say with holidays, where everybody kind of has a task, they're assigned a task.
I mean, yeah, because all I am is a sous chef.
No, I mean, but there's been times where you prepped and prepared an entire dish. But I think with that, it's can get in the way. Like if you're trying to do, I think one time you made a cheesecake, sweet potato cheesecake or something like that. Like you need a lot of space and a lot of different things for that. So somebody else can't be right next to you.
I mean, same thing when I do the seafood casserole.
Yeah, okay. Recently you've done
like
the
that.
seafood casserole, right?
You know, yeah, there's some things where I can't. And I listen to what you're saying about me needing space. You know, I pull everything out, but that's because I pull everything out so that way I know what I'm using.
That's what I'm saying. So
and
you
I
know
can
what
find
you're
it.
using this salt, not the other salt. Like, you know, you don't want the sea salt, you want regular salt, you know.
Or vice versa.
Right. Or you don't want the cracked pepper, you want this, you know, or you want red pepper and cayenne pepper. So you pull all of those things out of the cabinet.
Yeah, because a lot of times I can't find it. So it's best for me to pull it out first and then put it back later.
Right.
If I do put it back at all, ever. So.
And that's it. As I said, I do the cleanup because it sits out. So it's easier. Now, Maurice will do his prep work. And both of us kind of on holidays do our prep work perhaps the day before. So we'll cut up vegetables sometimes the day before. Unless I know we're not going anywhere, then I will get up early, 7 o'clock in the morning, and do the prep work of cutting up green peppers, onions, celery, whatever for the stuffing.
But I mean, we get, but how does that fit into using it as a date night?
I'm just saying, even with that, like, you know, we're just separate in certain things. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's where I was going was that you are, we just cook differently in some ways. So, but again, it's harder, I think, to do a date night when you're cooking for other people. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Is there a way to do a date night cooking, at least couples cooking, even though you're cooking for multiples?
I mean, I guess we could because, you know, when the adult children are home, they're not necessarily in our face per se.
Right.
But are we? I don't know. I guess it's just us cooking together, not necessarily using it as a date night. Mm-hmm. Because, like you said, we're not dressing up the table, if you will.
Right. That's the after effect. But I mean, again, when I look at things on social media or whatnot, you know, they're like testing the food out. Like they haven't even plated it yet. Like they're being lovey-dovey
right
as they're prepping the food. They're doing all those things. I mean, no, I don't think we're doing that. What are your thoughts? Like, I don't think I've like taken a spoon like, hey, taste this, you know.
No, you haven't.
You know, and if I have, you're like, no, I'm just going to wait. Like, you're going to ruin it, type thing. So.
I mean, the only thing that you may ask me to taste would be like the potato salad, something along those lines. But I can't think of anything else that you say, hey, you know, take a taste test real quick. Not really. I can't think of anything like that. But then the other thing too, that, you know, if you go based off of movies, right? Things that we don't do, because you'll see movie wise when the date comes over and they have the salad already in a glass bowl. You get what I mean? Or they had that ingredients and he has a towel over his shoulder type thing.
Right.
You know, and the dinner itself may be a simple, like a chicken Alfredo or something along those lines. Something that Could be out of a jar, could be from scratch, yada yada. Sometimes those type of meals, like a chicken Alfredo, I'm not too hot on one.
Right.
You get what I mean? That could be a date vibe, if you will, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the challenge, because otherwise, if you're saying, hey, you know what, well, we're gonna make a steak and do this, that, and the other, sometimes it gets a little too I don't know, I don't want to say aggressive, but
Gets a little hot in the kitchen.
yeah,
You're trying to handle it. Right.
You know, so are you trying to, how can you be cute, you know, in the kitchen if you got all that going on?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that's the challenge too.
And with the steak, like, so quickly it can be overcooked, you
Right.
know, so you do have to watch your timing and all that. So
Right.
And
don't
then some
know.
things like, you know, hey, you can't pop, like you said, a pot roast in the oven, or because that's going to take an hour. You know what I mean? So, like you said, a lot of those things that you see on movies and whatnot is quick meals. And you can say, hey, we're going
Right.
to cut up this salad together, and then
Right.
the sauce is already done. You know, the chicken is just grilled chicken, 2 minutes on, you know, because it's thinly cut
Right.
on each side just to get some color and cook it off. And then voila, it's done. You know, 8 minutes on some noodles. Bam. You know, so in 15 minutes, a half hour, you could have your whole meal and be sitting down versus, now again, a steak you can, but like you said, it's a little more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. And you have to be a little more attentive.
That's what I said. Like, so quickly it can just,
You know, because and then
and then we
see,
like
that's
them
the-
differently.
Right.
You
right.
know, so you
And,
like,
and I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't. You know, I know you can touch it some way to tell
Right.
the
doneness.
yeah, but I don't know the difference. The only difference I know is between it being raw and being burnt, because now it's a chip.
Beef
You get what I
jerky.
mean?
Yeah.
You know, so I couldn't tell you which is which,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. But
They say you feel it between your thumb and your first finger, whatever, somewhere in there as you move
Yeah.
closer up to your wrist. The doneness. You
yeah,
know,
well, I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you at all.
Right.
So, yeah, you know, but that's something that we haven't done. You know, not knowing. I put it like this: not knowingly. You know, it's not like we prepared to say, "Oh yeah, you know, why don't you pump fake, right? Why don't you go outside and then come on back in?" You know, you know.
I mean,
that
we've
whole
done
dramatic
date night,
stuff.
you know, where I prepare a meal and, you know, set the table and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so we've had that, but it's not like a couples cooking type thing as you're
Right,
stating.
right.
So we have certainly done,
Individual, yes.
yeah, like I cook or you cook, and
Right.
then, you know, we have the candles.
Or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We
Whatever it
have
might
apple
be.
juice and wine glasses or whatever. You know, whatever it might be. So we
Right.
have, you know, made the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, you know, just don't do it as often. I think when we
Right.
first got married, we did it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I think because it was all new. So we had new stemware. We had new, you know, place settings. And it was just kind of nice to be fancy
Mm-hmm.
and put the, you know, taper candles up. Like, where else are we going to use these taper candles?
Right.
You know, for our wedding, we got so many gifts. And it's like, okay, how do we put these to use? So we would do formal, like, settings for dinner a little more often than we do now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, was it received as a treat? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we've done it and a little bit recently, but just not as much, like you said. And definitely not the couples cooking as much.
Yeah, and I think so. Yeah, I'll put it like this: I've watched you in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you like people in the kitchen with you.
Okay.
You know, because it's sometimes it's hard to see. All right, like if I'm in the kitchen with you, maybe like you said, because we have our own styles, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I've even watched you in there with like our daughter. Right.
Right.
Now, she has her own cooking style, too. And sometimes I guess, like you said, based off of the kitchen and the size or whatever else, you can feel like it's too small.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying like, because we're not small people.
I think it's just the pathways. I think our triangle or whatever it is, from where our stove, our prep space, the refrigerator, and the sink, and then we have another prep space. Like, I just think it just kind of is in weird space, weird places. And I think that extra prep space nobody really wants to use. That's next to the sink.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be over by the stove.
Right.
Because that's where
the seasonings are and things like that.
So I think, hey, if you're going to pull everything out, then maybe like I think in the holidays when I'm prepping with her or she's cooking whatever items that she says she's going to prepare, I give her space and then I move over to the other workspace. But I think the outlet is in one space, which is so close to...
Well, the more accessible outlet. Right. I mean, it's not saying that there's outlets on the other side, but the one that's, above the countertop, if you will, that's the, like I said, that's the most accessible one.
Right.
So I think that makes a difference too.
Mm-hmm.
But now just thinking about it, just that whole date night cooking space.
I think we should plan one.
We need to work on that. Because I think that helps to bring the bond closer.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to find ways to stay on top of that. That's
right.
all.
I mean, we've made mention that, hey, we need to find some new recipes and not necessarily. I think that would be fun for a date night is find something we've never prepared before and see how it turns out. I know other thing we said was we haven't done this year. Maybe we can make that one of our resolutions for next year is to order those meals in a box where they give you all of the things.
Oh,
and it comes with a menu. I mean, a menu and a.
I mean, I've been looking at those.
A recipe, so we can just follow that. So maybe next year that's what I want for Christmas. One of those, like once a month, we will get a box.
Okay.
Except for maybe not November and December.
I mean, I would look into December,
mm-hmm.
And see how that goes. You get your little free trial, type thing,
and it can be like maybe not a meal, maybe it's a dessert. Like
I've never seen just desserts.
We don't know. I haven't looked it up.
I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, granted, I have not looked at every single order. I mean, I just look at the ones that our YouTube people, suggest,
mm-hmm.
and everything are meals. HelloFresh and whatever, but I haven't
sponsored.
studied. And then that's the other thing too. Let's. I didn't mean to say the name. If you love to sponsor us, sure, why not?
We'll try it out.
But the thing is, when you go on those sites, like they're pressuring you more for food, the meals itself, and then how many people,
right?
So
and that's hard because we have 4 people,
right?
But again, their palates and what they will eat vary so much that it's hard.
Right. I think that's the other challenge too of just trying to, because our daughter, she's on the fence whether or not she wants to be a vegetarian. Like she's weird with
mm-hmm.
that right now. And our son, all he wants to eat is meat. He don't want anything else but meat, which is also.
But not all meat, he doesn't want a steak. So
no.
He doesn't want, I can't do a pot roast. He's not going to enjoy that. Can't do beef stew. So.
And then depending on how you cook the chicken, that's hit or miss too. So, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
It is interesting. But that's going to be on our bucket list is to do some couples cooking.
Yeah, I think we'll look into that. That sounds fun. But
do it tonight?
just probably not.
Why? Why not start tonight?
No. Like you said, maybe we'll look into that for the, December, or end of year, beginning of year type stuff.
Okay.
No, we'll think about it. Tell us what y'all thoughts are.
Have you all?
Are y'all doing that? Are y'all having fun with it? Can y'all fit in the kitchen together? Are y'all like, is anyone like me who has all the seasonings out? Even when I chop up, as Calvin said, chop up the vegetables. Even though when I chop them up in the food processor, I still need some space. I don't know why. And then, and how many of you, even though when you chop them up, do you chop them up together? Do you chop them up separately? See, that's the other thing too. I'm not a mix all my food up together type person. So even when I'm gonna be honest with you, Kof, I looked at my for those of you who follow me on social media, especially Facebook, and last year I had put up a video of when I was doing my seafood casserole.
Yes.
And in that video, I have each one of the red pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper, onion, whatever. Like I have a little video with each one of those in its own bowl, right?
And they all get mixed together.
They eventually get mixed together, but I realized how separate I had them things. I was like, wow, that's like really separate. So I see that.
I think some of it is so that you know that you have equal amounts because each pepper is not the same size. So
yeah, you're right.
You want to make sure, like, hey, I have an equal amount. Like if you mix it all together, then you really don't know, and you're trying to get equal, and then. Yeah, so I think that's part of it. Does it create more dishes because you're putting each one of those in our little baby bowls? But I'm the same way. Like I usually separate them. Now, after I've used them, I might mix it back up together for the next whatever it may be. Because I know, hey, it was kind of equally portioned, and that's how it should go. But yeah, I understand.
So. Yeah, so that's something that let's put that on the calendar, Kof. Maybe just not tonight, but very soon. I'm down for it. Let's sit down and think about some dishes that we don't mind doing together.
Okay.
All right, because
and we'll come back with a post show and let you all know how it went.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, if we come back with a post show, you'll know how it went. Because otherwise, if we don't come back, that means we killed each other.
No, we can't kill each other.
Why wouldn't we?
Because that's not who we are.
Well, no. So here's the reason why I say that, right? Because, again, if you follow me, right, you'll know that sometimes we like to laugh and joke and all that type of stuff. And then...
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. So, but then what happens is, especially one night where I over-exaggerated, and then I fell through the glass table. So...
And cut his arm about 6 inches.
Yeah.
And required how many stitches?
I don't remember, but I know it was stitches on the inside and outside of my arm, and or at least that's the way it felt. And there was blood literally everywhere. It looked like it was just a crazy scene the way it looked. Yeah. So I just need to not be so funny.
That wasn't funny. Yes.
So, but yeah, tell us your thoughts, about date night as a couple, cooking in the kitchen or outside roasting marshmallows or on a grill. Are we having grilled turkey? Never mind. We'll talk about that a little later. But tell us what your thoughts are and come back and let us know. Thank you very much for listening today.
Thank you so much.
And we will talk to y'all later.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.